There is a cryptocurrency exchange in the world called Bitfinex. Back in 2016, this exchange got hacked by hackers. They managed to steal 119,756 bitcoins, valued at $72 million back then. This is the biggest cryptocurrency theft in the world. Before diving into the story of this theft, it's interesting to know that today, those 119,756 bitcoins are worth over $7 billion. Now, let's get back to the main story. To start the story, we need to know some info about Bitfinex. This exchange got started operating in 2012, and if we look at its history, we can see they weren't very careful and hackers could hack them quite easily. Well, small hacks at least. It's like the people running this website weren't doing their job properly. It's like some irresponsible folks were working at this exchange every day. There is some mess somewhere. These problems kept going on until finally, in 2016, the inevitable happened and the biggest cryptocurrency hack theft hit this exchange. Now, whose bitcoins were these? They belonged to the people who had wallets on this exchange. So basically, Bitfinex just lost its face, and it was the people who lost their money. This theft really shook the name of Bitcoin to the point where its price dropped by 20%. This incident was so big that the news of it exploded like a bomb worldwide. That's why the FBI took over the case along with other major police organizations. It's now 2024, 8 years since the theft, and despite 2 arrests related to it, the FBI and other agencies still don't know how the theft carried out. How did they manage to empty so many wallets? Those who track the cryptocurrency market like Eagle could precisely see where those bitcoins went. But the problem is they have no access to the owners of these wallets. They don't know who owns them or where in the world they are. However, one of the things cryptocurrency experts and the FBI were looking at was the transactions and the path these bitcoins took, because if these bitcoins were moved suddenly, they could figure out where they were going. That's why any movement of these bitcoins was taken very seriously. During this time, most exchanges worldwide that wanted to stay out of trouble completely blocked the route for these stolen bitcoins. They said, "We won't allow these wandering bitcoins into our exchange wallets." This made it harder for the main thieves to figure out how to cash these cryptocurrencies. These bitcoins weren't moving until a few months passed, and suddenly 25,000 out of the 120,000 bitcoins started moving on the blockchain. But not in a simple, direct manner, but through complex movements. For example, they were buying $300 Apple gift cards or expensive shoes worth $1,000. These small amounts were used to obfuscate their actions, and ultimately, the original cryptocurrencies ended up in the dark web, not for buying drugs or other illegal stuff, but there are people in the dark web who take stolen cryptocurrencies. They take a commission of 10 to 20% and somehow convert it into cash. How do they convert it? For instance, they hide $500,000 between the boxwoods of a park and then someone can go pick it up. These thieves cash out some of their bitcoins through the dark web, so about 25,000 bitcoins were figured out, but no one could figure out who was behind the story. But where are the remaining 100,000 bitcoins? They're still in the same wallets and haven't moved a bit. They can be seen on the blockchain. For 5 years, they didn't move until we reached the year 2021. You might think investigators got tired and stopped chasing them, but no, they kept their eyes on those bitcoins, waiting for any movement to reveal the culprits. In August 2021, after years of dormancy, suddenly $760,000 worth of bitcoins were moved from the stolen wallets into another wallet. 2 days later, another 700,000, and 4 days after that, 800,000 more. Bitcoins were swiftly divided among different wallets. These fragmented transactions were tricky to trace because they were consolidating into larger wallets. Experts speculated that the thieves grew impatient and wanted to cash out sooner. They say hassle leads to mistakes. This hassle led to a big break for the FBI, who figured out the owner of the wallet holding all these stolen bitcoins. The dragon enters. Ilya Lichtenstein, according to the FBI agents who had been tracking this for years. But they quickly realized it couldn't be Ilya and that another mastermind was behind the story. Yes, it was Heather Morgan, Ilya's wife. She was the true mastermind, a lady with a penchant for eccentricities, a computer genius. She wanted to be a rapper. She even posted her songs on TikTok and danced to them herself.
And we heard about ribs and winkles, wrinkle stars, wherever I take.
Among her other endeavors, she wrote instructional articles for Forbes website and what tutorials, how not to be hacked. This lady is also a genius in languages. You might not believe it, but she's fluent in Japanese, Korean, Russian, Turkish, Arabic, and Chinese. I don't know how she found all the time to learn all of this. She's a computer genius and coder, knows everything about cryptocurrencies, and at this time, she is only 31 years old. When investigators dug into their lives, they discovered that in 2019 they went to Ukraine and opened various bank accounts. Their goal was to stay in Ukraine and easily convert bitcoins into money. However, COVID-19 prevented them from executing this plan, so they returned to the USA. The FBI knew them well, knew who they were, where they were, and what they were doing, but they didn't arrest them. They kept watching from a distance and didn't want to jeopardize the bitcoins. It was at this point that the FBI succeeded in obtaining a warrant from the US Supreme Court to legally access the couple's wallet. Once they got this warrant, they were relieved that the bitcoins wouldn't be at risk, so they moved in and arrested the husband and wife. With this warrant, the police accessed Ilya Lichtenstein's wallet and found $3,600,000,000 worth of bitcoins, locking it all down so they couldn't transfer it to another wallet. Even though they seized these coins, they couldn't arrest the couple based solely on them. That's why they charged them with money laundering. They denied it completely, saying, "We don't launder money or steal it. A wallet with cryptocurrency is different from an ordinary bank account. There is no solid proof to say that just because the bitcoins are in your wallet, you're a criminal." The FBI couldn't imprison them for theft, but they held them on serious money laundering charges, preventing them from leaving prison or escaping. They initially refused to admit to money laundering, but after 8 months in prison, they confessed, acknowledging only the money laundering charges to clarify their legal situation. Today, as we record this video, several months have passed since their confession, yet they remain uncertain about their future in prison. While most of their cryptocurrencies were recovered, the FBI solely wants this couple to confess to stealing the bitcoins. However, they refuse to confess to theft, admitting only to money laundering. Essentially, the FBI aims to fully understand how this intelligent woman managed to move these bitcoins. This is mostly their goal. The actions of this woman still remain a mystery, as she refuses to divulge any details. The FBI won't easily give up on individuals like her. Ultimately, they seek to uncover the truth. Many are eager to negotiate with such individuals and even employ them. I believe this woman will eventually accept working with the FBI rather than remain in prison. What do you think? Share your thoughts with us. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories.